Am I the bleep bleep for confronting my stepdaughter about her overspending on my card? Alright, so I'm a 42-year-old guy, married to an amazing woman. My wife, 39F. She has a daughter from her previous marriage. My stepdaughter, let's call her S, who is 17. We've been married for 3 years, and while blending families isn't always easy, I've always tried my best to build a solid relationship with S. I'm not trying to replace her dad or anything. I just want to be a positive influence in her life. But lately, things have been, well, let's just say there's been tension. For a little backstory, my wife and I have pretty open communication about finances. We both work hard and have separate accounts, but we share a joint account for household expenses. Since S is still in high school and doesn't have a job yet, we've agreed to give her a reasonable allowance for her needs: clothes, outings with friends, school supplies, that kind of thing. The issue? S recently got access to one of my credit cards, a decision I deeply regret. A couple of months ago, S came to me with her puppy dog eyes routine, asking if she could use my card for an online purchase. It was something small, like a book for school or art supplies. I can't even remember exactly what it was. She said her mom had told her she could ask me since her card wasn't working at the time. Of course, I said yes. Why wouldn't I? I trusted her, and it wasn't a big deal. She even handed the card back after using it, which I thought showed maturity. That first time, everything was fine. But then, little by little, S started asking more often. Can I borrow your card for this? Can I use it for that? At first, it was small, reasonable things: a new phone case, a pair of shoes for gym class, stuff I didn't think twice about. But then, the requests got bigger and more frequent. One day, I got an email notification from my bank about a charge on my credit card. It was for $250. I was confused because I hadn't made any big purchases recently. I checked the details, and it was for some trendy boutique store I'd never even heard of. I asked S about it, and she immediately said, "Oh yeah, I needed some new clothes. Mom said I could use your card since I didn't have enough on my allowance." I was caught off guard. First of all, I had no idea she'd been using the card for things like this. Second, $250 for clothes for a 17-year-old? That seemed excessive to me, but I didn't want to make waves, so I let it slide. That was my first mistake. The charges didn't stop. In fact, they started piling up. Over the next couple of weeks, I noticed charges for high-end makeup, designer sneakers, even a $400 charge for what turned out to be a last-minute spa day with her friends. I brought it up to my wife, but her response was not what I expected. She shrugged it off and said, "She's just a teenager. This is normal." Normal? Maybe if we were millionaires, but we're not. The final straw came when I saw a charge for over $700 from some luxury online store. At this point, I was livid. That's when I decided to sit down with S and have a serious conversation. I waited until my wife wasn't home because I wanted this to be a one-on-one talk. I asked S to join me in the living room, and I laid out the printed credit card statements in front of her. "S, we need to talk about this," I started, trying to keep my tone calm. She immediately got defensive. "Why are you so upset? Mom said I could use the card. It's not like I'm spending it on stupid stuff." I pointed to the $700 charge and said, "Really? You don't think this is excessive? What even is this?" She rolled her eyes and said, "It's a bag. Everyone at school has one like it." A $700 bag? For school? I couldn't help but raise my voice at this point. "S, this isn't just about the bag. Look at these charges. Makeup, shoes, a spa day. This is out of control." And that's when she hit me with, "Why do you care so much? It's not even your money. Mom said it was fine." That one stung. I didn't even know how to respond at first. I just sat there, staring at her, trying to process what she'd said. When my wife got home, I told her what had happened. I expected her to back me up, to say that S had crossed the line and that we needed to rein her in, but instead, she looked at me and said, "You're overreacting. She's a kid. Let her enjoy herself." Enjoy herself? I said. This isn't about enjoying herself. This is about responsibility. She's spending money like it's endless, and it's not. What followed was one of the biggest arguments my wife and I have ever had. She accused me of being too harsh on S, and I accused her of enabling this behavior. But here's the thing. I'm not angry because of the money itself. I'm angry because S seems to think she's entitled to spend whatever she wants without consequences, and my wife doesn't seem to see the problem. I ended up canceling the card and told S she wasn't allowed to use it anymore. My wife was furious and said I was being controlling. S stopped talking to me altogether and started avoiding me around the house. Now, I'm stuck. On one hand, I feel like I did the right thing by setting boundaries. On the other hand, I feel like I've completely ruined my relationship with my stepdaughter, and maybe even my marriage. So, am I the bleep bleep for cutting her off and confronting her about the spending? Should I have handled it differently, or am I justified in standing my ground? What would you have done in my situation? Am I being too strict, or is this the kind of tough love that's necessary? Let me know in the comments below. I need to hear your thoughts on this.